Welcome back, everyone! You guys know the drill by now. There were things that were similar enough that I just smooshed them together into highlights. However, we had two little surprises in the form of decay of Cerato and of Troodon, so I decided to, put those at the start since, all the rest is Dibble, so I might as well put the funky stuff up top. First off with Cerato, it's decay. It's just making him look like he's withering away into nothingness, so not much to say there. It looks fine, I guess. I'll wait to see it in game. Granted, I don't even know. I swear people were saying they didn't see stuff like this in game just yet, but I don't remember anymore. And I haven't played it myself, so waves hand. Anyway, after that was Troodon. Again, it's decay. Not a whole lot to say on that matter. It was neat to see, I guess. We don't see a whole lot of Troodon, and in the Discord, I keep seeing people ask which eye texture they're using for Troodon in the game, because we've seen, like, 4 different ones or something like that. And so someone keeps asking, hey, which one are we using? And the devs haven't really answered, except for Philippe, that I swear said one of, like, the white one or something. However, I'm not sure which one the white one was, because, yeah. Anyway, so I wonder if that might be the one they're using? Don't know, because sometimes Bryan uses funky textures that aren't actually used in the game, like with the galley thing, for instance. Anyway, after that is Dibble. The first one was the Strafing again. I just did, like, a highlight of 1 or 2 clips of it, and then that was it, because we've already seen it several times, and we don't need to see it more times, so moved on from that. After that one was, oh boy, oh yes, the Hornlock Spar. It was the Hornlock Spar. Naturally, this one is going to be quite interesting. Unfortunately, I missed the interesting section of it, which was, I assume, the aggressor versus, the one defending. The one pushing forward must have been at the start of the stream, because I only caught the tail end of it when he was doing his final adjustments and then testing it out. And then after that, he went to the one that's essentially hovering, so I missed the interesting one. Dang nabbit. But, oh well, I got what I got. At least I got the final product of that one, I assume, judging from the fact he moved on directly after that. So you'll see a few adjustments for the one pushing forward, and then he'll put, like, another Dibble next to it, and you'll get to see them lock horns together for a little bit. The one defending isn't quite animated yet, he does that right after, but it was still neat to see. After that he moves on to, as I said, the defender, the one sliding around. Originally it looks like he was going to put the legs, pushing backwards sort of thing. It's difficult to describe, but you see it here. And then afterwards he decides to have them facing forward. Well, I guess it would be facing forward the first time, backward the other time. You know what I mean. Anyway, he changed course and went with one that looks almost like it's hovering. Like, I saw the final product first because I was finishing up, and I leave the stream recording. So when I come back, I need to cut the excess that was recording in for a question mark amount of time after he's done. And I came back and I saw what looked like a hovering Dibble, and I thought it was a joke, until I saw the extra animation he made with it, but we'll get to that. Anyway, he adjusts the feet a lot in this one, and for the most part that's all it really needed, in the toes and feet and stuff like that, because for the most part the body isn't really doing a whole lot in this one. Again, it looks a lot like a hover, like it makes sense in a way, but it does look a little funky when you see it out of context. Again, I thought it was a joke, so I guess that tells you what you need to know on my thoughts. After his adjustments, he decides to spend a ton of time animating and posing Troodon, pushing it around as a joke. I cut that because there's no point in including it. It was done as a little joke for the end. I show the original final product, which is Dibble on its own, and then it shows the joke one, which it was cute, I'll admit. However, I skipped the entire portion of animating Troodon for it because, again, there was no point to me including it. It was done as a joke, so it's just more work for me. Final thoughts on this one. Unfortunately, I missed the interesting one. So the only one I saw was the hovering, yeah. I sure hope I haven't been saying Dillo this whole time. Dibble. Like, the one pushing forward definitely looks pretty nice, what little I saw of it. The one defending, it makes sense when you see it, you know, interacting with something else, but it is a little funky on its own. And there's something about it, it might be how the legs are moving, that doesn't quite look right. It looks like it's not really trying to hold its ground that well, it's just going along with it. Its legs are splayed out, it's just done. Like, I understand what it's doing, it's trying to gain its footing and push forward, but it doesn't have a whole lot of that pushing forward aspect. It looks like it's just trying not to move any further and staying in one spot. So it's like it's like when people put a leash on like a cat or something and they just drag it around and the cat's just like, alright, I guess this is what I'm doing now. It reminds me of that, but with pushing. Anyway, the portion I caught wasn't too exciting. I think the other part probably would have been a little bit more interesting, but oh well, I caught what I caught. I can't complain too much. This week's been a little bit funky. On Sunday I had some mysterious pain that was very unpleasant, so that's a lot of why the first one was butchered so much. That and the fact that it's strafing again and again and again, and they look basically the same, the adjustments are basically the same. I don't want to be posting something that looks like something you just watched, because I do a lot of that in the Discord anyway, because people will ask the same questions repeatedly. And because they keep asking them, it means people are still wondering about them, which is why they end up in the videos. So people who watch me a lot will ask, why do you put the same stuff in? People have already asked that. And I used to respond to it, but I kind of just stopped now because the answer's always the same too. Like, people keep asking. So naturally I keep including it because clearly people haven't seen it. So I'm gonna put it in again. There's gonna be new viewers, I get new subscribers, all this other stuff. Most people don't go back and watch the past stuff, they'll just see the newest one, be like, oh, okay, this is neat, subscribe and wait for the rest. So I include them anyway. That and the devs' responses, as you guys have seen, will change. Like with Trudon's Mimic, for instance, we didn't hear a single peep of them scrapping it. Well, I shouldn't say scrap it. They're not implementing it at the start. We'll see if it ever gets implemented at all. But anyway, they would hype it up, they would talk about it, but they never once said it might not be there on release of Trudon. So everyone assumed it would be, because they never said it wouldn't be. They would just talk about how great it would be, and how it might do this, it could do that, we don't know, we can't share details, but it might be something like this, it could do something like that. Stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, during one of Philippe's streams, we hear that, oh, Trudon might not get Mimic. And people are like, huh, what? That's in its Pokédex entry, why are you scrapping Mimic altogether? And he's like, oh, well, no, it might not be there on release of Trudon. Which is basically confirmed it won't be there on release of Trudon now. But back then, we had been hearing nothing but, oh yeah, it's going to get this. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, no, that might not happen. Or, well, it might not happen on release. However, that on release could very well turn to at all. We've seen stuff like that happen before, so we'll see. And when they rehaul the roadmap, I'm going to be paying very special attention to Trudon's entry, because if they happen to snip out the section of Mimic, I'll be like, squints, so that's your game. But we'll see. But aside from that, I guess there's not a whole lot to say on this stream. There was the strafing, I've already seen it a million times, and then the Hornlock, which unfortunately I missed the important part of it because I was asleep. So, yeah. But oh well, we caught what we caught. It's there, and other people will have their stuff in their videos, so it's not a big deal. Let's see. The Phase 3 drops have been random, as I mentioned, so whether or not there'll be any Discord videos today, I don't know. I haven't checked just yet, so for all I know, that will be posted first, and then this will be after. We'll see on that, I suppose. But I don't know if it'll have anything particularly interesting. Like, Kissen's animations were nice to see. We got to see something. Dillo's pounced animation, not Dillo pouncing, but being pounced. That one was kind of neat to see. I liked how it looked when it was, you know, fighting back, or at least it looked like it was fighting back against the, I assume, Utah or Trudon, I suppose, pouncing it. But I do wonder if that was the old Dillo model, or if it was the new one, because it didn't look quite as cursed on that one. Granted, it was a little bit hard to see because it was a bit deep fried in the quality department there, so it's tough to see. Like, Discord does a lot of funky stuff with GIFs, and so when I convert them to MP4 afterwards, sometimes it looks better, sometimes, well, I shouldn't say better, sometimes it doesn't look any worse, and other times it will get worse. With that one, I think it looked about the same, but it might have been expanded a bit for the video, and yeah, etc, etc. You know how it is with quality. It looked a little fuzzy, but I didn't see any of the quill things on it, and those just might not be on the model because, you know. But I keep hoping they'll kind of get rid of the ones on the chin because it looks disgusting, I should say. And not a good disgusting, like, oh wow, that's gross, but that's really cool. It's just, why is this here? Why does it exist? Why are you giving it what looks like a scraggly beard sort of thing made of unpleasant hair? But, you know, we'll see how it goes. I just hope they have the old Dillo model as a cosmetic option because I really don't like the new one. Which is a shame because Dillo was one of the ones I enjoyed playing back in Legacy. It was one of the few that I enjoyed playing because I played Rex for the most part because it's Rex. I enjoy Rex, he's cute. Granted, I didn't do a whole lot with him. Usually I just walk around the map. With Dillo, that was the one that I actually did stuff with. I'd go to swamps and stuff and try to find little juvies and subs and try to, you know, make their day a little bit less pleasant. But, this new model looks absolutely atrocious, so, I won't be touching Dillo if it doesn't have the option to switch to the other one. It just doesn't look nice. Which is a shame, because I liked the Dillo as we had it. I understand wanting to update the model, but it just doesn't look good. It looks worse than the prior one. So it doesn't feel like an update, it feels like a downgrade. Like the prior one was the new one, and this one's the old one. It doesn't look pleasant. But that's enough rambling on that, I suppose. I think it's about time to stop anyway. My throat's been acting up today, and you guys can probably hear it. Not sick or anything, it's just not feeling good. It's one of those days where, you know, it's not quite right. But anyway, I hope everything's been going well with you guys, and that you have a great day, night, whatever time it is when you see this. And goodbye!
Thank you.